Thank you. Good morning to everybody. And I think it's good to see so many friends and new and old this morning. And I think what I'm trying to do is not bore you with like a lot of like details about the standards. But what I like to do is perhaps we have like a general walkthrough to the simple what the planning standards on open space is about. And also have a quick look at the greenery issues, and then perhaps we look at the always look into the future, what we could do or we could think about, and share a bit of my thoughts on the subject. The function of open space and greenery, and I think open space and greenery, planting, landscape is part of our city. It should be seen at that light. Of course, we just heard about in the economic sense in Hong Kong, that may not be so. So it comes to the question, goes back to the basic. How do we see these things? Is it part of our city or is not? Or are we different from the others? And in terms of the classical design theory or thinking, it could be the open space or greenery. It has like physical functions and also aesthetic one. The physical one provides separation, circulation, and provide interest to the city, the layout, and also the aesthetic one. I mean, I put in a few examples, locals and overseas, and by looking at the pictures, we can get roughly how we see. We talked about a while ago about the harbor. We got plenty of water on one side of the shoreline, but on the other side of the shoreline, well, in our city we don't seem to have lots of water or water surface. Apart, of course, from when you get to the washroom and when you fill the sink, then of course you see the water. But I'm picking Taj Mahal, which is a very interesting example. And of course in many other European cities as well. Yes, open space provision, yes. In terms of like the planning and land allocation or whatever, I think in terms of planning, is the planning, Hong Kong planning standards and guidelines. It's a document covering different aspects to guide planners and planning professionals and design professionals how we look and see our cities. There's a picture there, including a lot of like different chapters, different documents. In fact, you can look through the website, and then there's all on the website. It's not usually you see a full set of documents on government websites. They keep their information somewhere, but I would say the planning department is one of the very few that provides a whole host of information, and you can get it on the website. And going back to the provisions, I mean, yes, we have left foot and right foot. So at the end, so you've got 1 square meter on the left foot and 1 square meter on the right foot. So it works out like this. Well, 1 meter of open space for local open space, 1 meter square for district open space. Before I move on to the local and district ones, perhaps I'll look at the sort of like key planning principles in the Hong Kong Planning Center guidelines. Well, again, it reflects what I said earlier on, is the land use on its own right location. It shouldn't be the remainder of the other land use. Accessible, functional, and suitable. I think it's very familiar. I move back to the district and local open space. It gives a bit of an idea as to what we are talking about, like district open space, supposed to be larger ones, with a lot of like active recreation facilities, like ball courts and other things. So roughly the size of about a hectare. And the local one's supposed to be in the neighborhoods, with a sitting out area, a children's play area. In fact, you don't get many children's play area. You don't have any children around. You've got elderly provision, just like for me to exercise, and those are the things we need nowadays. In terms of location, yes, accessible, the district open space, because you have to put in the forecourt. Some interesting one, away from major road. We see the reason for that, noise and air pollution, whatever. And of course, it's away from nearby residents to avoid the disturbance. Hong Kong people is a bit strange sometimes. They want the facilities close to them, but at the same time they complain it's noisy. For the local open space, yes, near local residents, and should be within walking distance. By the time we all figure out all these, and then it should be put into a statutory plan. So by looking at these statutory plans, we know where those open space should be. And then by going through each and every one, you can figure out within the area, in the entire area, the districts, and you know the open space where they are. And of course there are other plans for other uses, like the non-statutory plans, so you can also see the open space, but I'm not going to cover that. Let's move on to another one, greening. It was included in the policy address. I'm sure you are very familiar with these pictures. Whether you think of anything else, and is your own initiative. Again, I move back to the Hong Kong Planning Centre's guidelines. It gives you a little bit idea as to what it is about. Yes, planning new areas, new town, look at it comprehensively, and in terms of major infrastructure projects, again, it should be done in that way. And the greening master plan, I think, what is it about is that the greening master plan is a look at different districts and try to see ways to